Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
The murder of Georgia Williams. She agreed to help her friend with the photography and went to his house to do a shoot. She climbed on the box, she put the noose around her own neck, and then he kicked the box out from under her. He just stood there, even at some point starting to take photos, as she suffocated to death. Afterwards, he moved her body into various positions in every room of the house and raped her while she was dead. Then he just dumped her body in a woodland. The police discovered what happened when they searched his home and found his camera. I can only imagine the horror the officer had went through when he went through that camera. After they looked through the photos, they saw every single thing that happened, step by step. R.I.P. Georgia. Beverly will be 66 years old today if this horrible accident didn't happen. The person will always be remembered in a private anniversary mass. She was popular, she was attractive, she was just a junior at Marymount High School, a Catholic girl. See, this was 1964, and things played a lot differently than, how people are getting caught up. Back then, it was harder to catch the people who were committing these horrific acts. She was a beautiful mind who wrote poetry, liked classical music and jazz, frequently, always went to the Cleveland Museum, and just loved admiring the art. She was also talking about becoming a teacher and volunteered as a typist. Let's bring it back to December 28th, 1964, the day after the Cleveland Browns' last NFL championship on the quiet Monday after Christmas. Beverly and her 12-year-old sister Carol shared a bedroom in the house. They were all home on Christmas break. They ate, they watched their parents, Ted and Eleanor, go off to work. They walked to visit their grandmother Marie, a mile away up Turney Road, and stayed for lunch. The boy next door to the grandmother drove Beverly home to meet her friend Barbara. A classmate at Marymount, the girls planned to visit another classmate, Margie. They got home before 1 p.m. Beverly called her mother to check in. She wrote a message to her father from someone who had called back leaving a name that turned out to be phony. Grandma Vanek called and Beverly said she had to go. She was expecting Barb and had to change. Barbara arrived around 1:25. She found the side door open, but the storm door was locked. She rang the doorbell and knocked, heard a radio playing loudly, and then a loud thump upstairs, like furniture being moved. She went to the front door, rang the bell, knocked, and waited a few minutes, puzzled, wondering if she was being stood up or teased. She headed home. Margie called her there, asking where she and Beverly were. Then Margie called Grandma Vanek, who called Ted at work. He raced home about 4 p.m., hearing the radio blaring from the driveway. He dashed into the house. When they got up there, they saw one of the most gruesome, horrid cases that they've ever seen. It was to a point where so many different chiefs and police, people who had worked on already bad cases, were saying that this is one of the ones that they were losing sleep on. So what they said happened was Beverly was apparently surprised while changing clothes. She had been strangled with a rope and stabbed 42 times. Her clothing was yanked away from her torso, but she was not sexually assaulted. Gerber ruled strangulation as the cause of death, but said the knife wounds, just let alone, would have been enough to kill her. The person came with two weapons. Unless you're planning, I don't know why you'd have two. RIP, just want to send my condolences to the families. And if you like this type of content where I talk about true crime stories that don't necessarily get seen, even though that last one I just talked about was very popular, go ahead and follow me because I will be talking about true crime cases that go unseen and haven't really been talked about. I'll be posting daily, maybe 2 times a day. That being said, I love you guys. Stay safe.